Hello. How's it going? I just finished recording talking about GPU prices, how they're not really falling, they're not really in stock. Kind of depends on what GPU specifically you're looking for. And I want to talk about this again. I don't know if I've talked about it before. It's probably been in some other GPU related video, um, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. The difference that NVIDIA and AMD are handling the GPU situation. So I've I shout into the ether a lot, into Facebook comments and on on Reddit, going and looking at Twitter, um, and there is this misconception from general consumers that AMD and NVIDIA are basically doing the same thing when handling GPUs, and that is completely insane. And I want to talk about why, because they're not. It's very blatant that they're not. So there's some things that I'm gonna take out of the equation as well. I want to take out of the equation of selling directly to miners. Both sides, I don't really care. This really doesn't matter for this discussion. Let's say that AMD and Nvidia both sold the same amount to miners with directly to them without even going to AIBs or anywhere else, which is also as a little star in the corner, which is also not true because Nvidia did it a lot more. You could see that, or at least Nvidia allowed their AIBs to do that with their own models. Hence, why you saw in the beginning of like a launch of a 3080, why there was like 78 EVGAs, 3080s, the FTW models, I believe, the rainbow colored RGBs in one thing like that. That dude just got a pallet of GPUs. So that's going to be a side. B. What the hell was B? I don't want to discuss the price gouging of uh, the AIB models specifically. Um, is it just a bad thing? Yes, but this I don't personally know what's the contract with these AIBs and the companies they're buying them from, either AMD or Nvidia. I don't know what the agreement is, if it's not in like a contract or something of, hey, it doesn't really matter what you do with your pricing. We just want you to have a model within whatever percentage close to the MSRP, even if that model is not available. I don't know any of this stuff, so I'm not going to go speculating and talking about stuff there. I want to talk about stuff that's pretty concrete, which is specifically the reference cards. Like I said, all this stuff, all the ABs, don't don't I don't want to talk about. Don't mean anything to me as part of like for this conversation. These are the ones that matter. The reference model cards, and these here, the I don't know what AMD calls them, but let's say the reference model cards. So first and foremost, and another thing I don't want to talk about, price per performance. You want to see any of that stuff? There's Hardware Unboxed, um, Gamers Nexus, and anybody else that does. You can go and check what the frames are. If you're out a specific game, go check a specific game with somebody that has the loadout, and you can go check it out. Doesn't matter for this conversation. So AMD and NVIDIA are supposed to be doing the same thing, right? When you go and look at their website, none of these I check availability. It all shows up just like this, like check availability at Best Buy. So you just have to go to Best Buy. So first and foremost, the thing that's the difference between them, they're not selling them directly through their website. They just do check availability, and you get to, yay, go through the website. Where are the reference models sold? Through Best Buy. So, again, in the lens of like, this is only going to be talked about through the North American market, I guess. Let's just take it at that. The reference models for these are not sold through the direct website. The reference models for these are. They may not be in stock right now, but every time there's a stock update, and I get the notifications, and I wake up late to go on Newegg shuffles, and I get the notifications late, and then I go on, and I go, oh, notifications for AMD, and I go on AMD and I see this, see all this here, ooh, all this nice stuff. Then I go on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not going to show you stuff on there because I don't want to have user information, get in trouble with anybody, or yeah, I don't want to have any of that stuff. Or have somebody who's shown to be scalping and then have people go and zack them. I don't want to hear that, any of that drama, garbage. I go on there, and they're on there. Actually, right now, the last, I don't know how many weeks at this point, at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks, the 6700 XT is the most readily available reference card on Facebook Marketplace for me. On eBay, closest to MSRP that I can find. Now, I'm not doing a bar graph and then spending all day looking at that. No, I'm just checking as a general consumer. But they're the most readily available ones there. Yeah, they're still being marked up, but this 6700 XT is like $650 you can get it for. $700. Some people are asking for $850, but there are people asking for like $650 or $700. After taxes and shipping, it's actually not that bad compared to. $650 is the price of this, and it's like, oh well, you might as well wait for 6800 XT. Okay, then you can wait to go and get 1600 XT here. It's not really here a lot. I see the 6800 sometimes. I see 6900 XTs. I don't see 6800 XTs too often. I see 6700 XTs very often right now. This, I see 3060 Ti's. Sometimes here and there. Other than that, they're mostly all used. So in addition to not selling them directly on their website, they're also not really readily in stock. The 3070 Ti essentially doesn't exist. The 3080 doesn't exist anymore. They're just shelling out the overpriced 3080 Ti's. The 3090 exists, and 3060 Ti exists, and 3070 exists. These three, no, wait, 3090 is down here. These, out of these 4 cards, 3 of them are the only ones that really are around in the ether. Not just like, just gone. So, when you're not selling your own card on your own website, when you're limiting a specific retailer to sell your cards, it fucks up availability majorly. So these are the 2 things that are important. These companies are not handling them the same way. And if I'm on Best Buy notifications, I might be able to get an NVIDIA reference card. Maybe. It's only going to be, out of these cards, it's only going to be 3 of them. One of them doesn't exist. One of them really doesn't exist anymore. And one of them's so overpriced, it's insane, and you shouldn't get it. It's not worth the money at all. And then on the other side, these are available. They're not readily available. They're not consistently in stock. In my last video, I just talked about like what in stock and what prices falling for GPUs means. They're not in stock and their prices aren't falling. Yeah, but they are there. They are available to get, and they're able to be bought by the company's website. So at the end of the day, these companies are handling the way that they're selling their products completely differently. And you can say that they're both at fault. Whatever. I'm not here to have that discussion. I'm here to snap everyone back into reality who doesn't want to actually accept that like one of them's being the better of the bad guys. AMD is just handling it differently. They're handling it better. They are doing these for gamers. The whole like hash rate limiter, selling the miners, all that stuff. I can talk about all that. I have before. There are a lot more knowledgeable people who spend a lot more time a day reading up on things like this. You can go and watch any of them, and they're all going to say the same things, unless they're a shill for the company, which I don't understand unless they're being paid by the company. But if you're getting sent the graphics cards, that actually is a form of payment. It's just a different form of hush money. But they are handling things different. That's just a fact. There's no, and if you want to like argue with me, it's right here. Like it's literally right here. You can't buy the cards on here. It doesn't let you. Just go check availability. Fine, let's go check availability for 3060 Ti. Is it there? No, it's sold out. So at the very least, This form of it, it's the same as here. At the very least, if you want to shill for the company, but you can't buy it from the fucking website. And this card, the 3060, which is one of the better actual price cards, $330 for a 12 gigabyte card that has ray tracing and can use DLSS. So it's not going to be probably the best ray tracing card. It's got 12 gigabytes, so you don't have to worry about like a 2060, or for like me, 2060 running a 1440p control. Going to have some issues unless I'm turning down settings. You don't have to worry about that as much. You can play mostly everything at 60 FPS. Especially games that have DLSS. No Founders card. No Founders card. So this price right here, this $329.99, this is a lie. It's a lie. There is no $329.99. There's none. There is for these cards. These cards actually have an MSRP that you can kind of keep depending on if you can actually find it at Best Buy. The 3060 has no MSRP. I know I keep switching back and forth. Look at this. Which one of these, which product does AMD currently have out, GPU-wise, for the desktop that's not on here? The answer is none. Every single GPU they release is on their website. So I get it. I get it. You want to be mad at them. You want to be mad at everyone. They are handling things differently. Just period, the end. That's just how it is. So if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I don't like it either. But this is reality. These companies are handling things differently. I can go into DLSS versus FSR. I can go into selling to miners versus making architecture that's not as good for mining, specifically, instead of just putting a hash rate limiter and then selling potential other cards as a as a mining card. I can go into the actual like price per performance of something like a 3080 Ti versus a 6800 XT or 6900 XT versus 39. You can go into all that. It doesn't. That's not the point here. The point is the company is actually handling their products properly or not. One of them's trying to do the right thing and make money, and one of them is just in it for the money. Like Apple. And if you watch any of my other videos, I compare one of these companies to Apple all the time because they are. They're trying to be Apple. They want to be Apple. And that's it. There's nothing really else to talk about here. I'm just going to keep rambling and rambling, but I just want to let everyone know there's a difference between these two companies. The difference is not AMD is the savior, so I don't want people going in the comments on, AMD fanboy. I'm not a fanboy for any corporation or company. Make a good product, you can say you make a good product. You're doing something right, yeah, I can say you're doing something right. You're doing something wrong, I can say you're doing something wrong. So, that's it. Everyone have a nice day. Don't kill each other. Unless somebody's telling you that NVIDIA and AMD are the same, then you can just tie them up for a couple of days until they come to their senses.